Welcome 5th through 6th grade. We're going to start off with our sniglet today. This is chown. Chown is the broken, stranded, drowning chip. I think that's where it got that's how they created it, the word drowning and chip, chown. Drowning chip in the dip that causes the dipper to awkwardly attempt to rescue it by whatever means necessary with part of another chip, a fork, a straw, the three-finger claw. I guess that would be your thumb and two fingers. I definitely have tried to do that before. That drunken, coated, sad little chip down in the bottom of the dip. So a chown. Now you have a word for it. Oh no, there's a chown in the dip. Next, we have, I'm going to turn off my pencil. We have our Shakespeare quotation. All that glitters is not gold. And actually, I believe the original said all that glisters. But we have changed that word to be glitters. All that glisters is not gold. In other words, there's such things called fool's gold, right? Just because it's shiny doesn't mean it's good, is the idea. That don't be fooled by things that, might appear one way, but really are not true, pure gold. And that's a good life lesson. From the Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare. And then we have our Proverbs of the day, Proverbs 14:25. It says, a true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. It's important to always be a speaker of truth. And I think that it becomes more and more important in today's age. But also, it can be difficult. You have to be brave and bold and careful to speak truth. Our lesson today is about transition words. So, one of the things as a writer that you want to become better and better at is giving clear directions in your logic. So, we use signs on roads. You might even use signs or symbols to follow. For instance, putting a Lego set together or in a video game. But in writing, you have to use verbal signs to tell your reader exactly how to view this next information. Does it come after the information you just gave? Do we add it to what you've just said, or do we contrast it to what you just said? Are we changing directions now? Are we moving on? Are we undoing what we've just done by contradicting it or deleting it in a sense, discrediting it? And are we coming close to the end? Are we near the end? In conclusion, this is the final thought that we want you to finish with. So it's very easy to write your information and assume your reader is following along. Sometimes when you share contrasting information, for instance, but you don't tell your reader it's a contrast, it can be very confusing. They've lost you. It's like going down a road and not having a road sign, and suddenly you just don't know where you are anymore. So these are words that act as road signs, and we call them transition words. This is not an exhaustive list. When I say exhaustive, that means this list is just a sample. There are many more transition words. And sometimes it's not just transition words, it's just a transition idea, a phrase that you might use. So these are just some examples. You might use words like first or second. But sometimes we use phrases that go together, like not only, but also. Not only this, but also this. We might use words that show that we're changing direction, like however. This is true, however, this is not true. Or in contrast with what I just told you, this is also true. We might use additionally, which is like a plus sign. This, what I just told you, is good, but also this. And then you have words like in conclusion, finally, lastly, and that shows the reader that you're wrapping up your thoughts. So your assignment goes with this lesson. I want you to write a 5-sentence paragraph explaining how your family celebrates Christmas. Really, you're just telling in chronological order what would happen at a typical Christmas gathering. So you would use a lot of words like first we do this, next we do this. Also, we do this, that same evening we do this and this and this. We always do this last, in conclusion, etc. Try your best, and I would add for points, you want to include a transition word in each of your sentences. If my pencil will work. Not sure why it won't. Here we go. Include a transition word in each of your sentences. It doesn't have to be at the beginning. Sometimes we include it in the middle. Sometimes we include it at the end. And I gave you a sample topic sentence to get you started. My family celebrates Christmas in a unique way. First, and then you get going. So that will be your assignment this week. However, if you are in Mrs. Peggy's class and you're writing a literary analysis paper, you may skip this assignment, watch the 7th and 8th grade video, and follow those instructions. Those are to help you along if you need it. But if you are doing this homework assignment, parents and students, let's add up all the criteria, the directions you need to follow. You will get a point for having 5 sentences at least. You can have more for making sure the topic is about Christmas and your family. You can get a transition. Every sentence that has a transition word gets a point, so that's 5 points there. And if it's done on time and typed or handwritten according to your parents' instructions. So that is a total of 9 points. And then with the heading, the proper heading and title, that would be 10. So 10 possible points for this assignment. And like I said, jump onto the 7th and 8th grade video if you'd like help with your literary analysis paper, and you are doing that this week. See you next week.